Our last story today is about the Hajj. Over 1,300 people died this year during the annual pilgrimage due to a heat wave. Now, heat-related deaths at the Hajj are not new. They have been happening for centuries. But this year, the death toll was unusually high. It's because of exceptional circumstances. Rising temperatures, coupled with climate change, meant conditions that some humans could not endure. They collapsed on the streets. Many died of heat stroke. Saudi Arabia says it is not a failure of the system. But is that true? Our next report tells you.
For millions of Muslims across the globe, this is the journey of a lifetime. The Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It must be completed by all Muslims with the means at least once in their lives. But this year, the annual pilgrimage took a deadly turn. Over 1,300 people died during the Hajj, all because of intense heat. Now, the Gulf has long dealt with high summer temperatures, but the climate crisis has pushed it above normal limits. This year, a heat wave supercharged by climate change meant temperatures soared over 50 degrees. Now, the Hajj season changes every year. So this year, it was in June, which is one of the hottest months in the kingdom. And while there are air-conditioned facilities, the Hajj involves a lot of walking. Pilgrims walk an average of 4 hours every day. So with millions walking in the baking sun, many started to lose consciousness. Some even collapsed on the roads.
Yesterday we were on our way and we saw corpses on the road. They were covered white on the road. Because the temperatures here are really high. And I'm not just talking about old people, young people have died too.
Many people were on the ground, tired and losing consciousness. In Arafat, it was the same. They were losing consciousness and were suffering from heat stroke and laying on the ground.
Some of these pilgrims were older. They had saved money all their lives to take the Hajj. They had underlying conditions. That, coupled with the risk of extreme heat, was deadly. Many died of a heat stroke. Pilgrims have since blamed poor infrastructure. They said it was badly organized. But Saudi Arabia says it wasn't the failure of the kingdom, instead it was an issue of illegal permits. The Hajj is one of the world's largest religious gatherings. Every year, Saudi Arabia issues nearly 1.8 million permits. Now, these permits are allocated to countries on a quota system. Individuals get it through a lottery. Official licenses can cost up to several $1,000s. But many either don't get these licenses or they can't afford them. So they enter the country unregistered. They risk arrest and deportation if caught. But unlicensed pilgrims also don't get access to the facilities like air-conditioned buses, free water and food supplies.
We thought we were about to die. We didn't even have the strength to reach the steels due to the extreme heat. My hands were shaking, my body was about to collapse, and I was unable to continue.
Countries are now cracking down on tourist agencies facilitating the Hajj for unlicensed pilgrims. But it's impossible to ignore the elephant in the room. That's climate change. Heat-related deaths in the Hajj are not new. They were recorded way back to the 1400s. But with rising temperatures and an older population, pilgrims are now more vulnerable, which means Riyadh will have to find ways to adapt to this climate crisis, or else it could put millions at risk in the coming years.